Wolf is in here now from Justice Rescue. And I thought it was incredible the picture you took of Remy, who's kind of like the face of Justice Rescue, with all this Amazon stuff that people sent. So for those who don't know, you had a wish list on Amazon. It was, like beds. It was a bunch of stuff. How much stuff did you guys get from that?
A lot.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they purchased about everything that was on that. Of course, it's all going to the animals that we have in a sanctuary that have been with us for a long time. So they greatly appreciate that. And
and how did people find out about this? Just from your Facebook, I guess?
Yeah, just putting it on the Facebook. And we have a newsletter that goes out. It's on that as well.
That's cool. So, when did did it all come in at once? Did you just get a giant shipment of stuff from Amazon?
Oh, yeah. The FedEx guy was not happy at all.
Yeah. So, just based on the stuff you got, did you get beds? Did you get, a lot? How much of the stuff that you need did you get?
We got a lot of it, yeah. We got beds. We got the Nyla bones. We got the wobblers to keep them, exercised and happy.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Kongs, treats, toys.
That's amazing.
Everybody really supported and went all out.
It's amazing what people are willing to do for dogs.
Yeah.
And I never used to be a dog guy. Now I want to help you guys all the time. And you told me that you're starting to get more feedback from people because they're hearing about it on the show.
Absolutely. Because of being on the show, we've had 2 dogs adopted, and we've received 4 cruelty complaints that we resolved since being on the show.
So when someone sends in a cruelty complaint, so do you you talk to them and then you just go to a house? Does it vary by things, by situation?
Yeah, when they go fill out the cruelty report online on our website, we'll actually ask them all the specific questions, and then we'll either go or we'll call them back and ask them. A lot of the reports that we get are anonymous.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
We just follow
here
that.
we go. Let me move that back. There you go. Grab that one right there. The mic fell.
Yeah.
But we're talking with Wolf from Justice Rescue, and I think what you guys do is great.
Thanks.
So you were telling me a story about a dog that was hanging in a house to set the scene for us here.
So we had a police officer actually view a dog being abused in the back of a house, and really not knowing what direction to go with it, he made them take the dog inside the house, and then he called us. So we went down to assist the police officer in helping this dog. And, when we knocked on the door, we told him that we needed to see the dog. And, they had already been in a cruelty violation. The police officer was already going to write the citation.
Mm-hmm.
So when we asked to see him, they took us downstairs. Well, me downstairs. And, the outside where you have the bilko doors where you walk up out of a basement and you can hit the street, the 2 metal big doors.
Yeah.
So, they had one of them, and they had a mattress pressed up against the inside and a couch against that. So when I asked to see the dog, we went downstairs, and there was no dog.
Yeah.
So then the guy starts dragging the couch away from the wall. Then he takes the mattress away from the wall, and here what the dog is they hung him inside the bilko doors with a straight chain up to the bilko doors.
So was the dog alive?
The dog was barely alive. He was actually on his back legs trampling on the trash that they had below.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they had a brand new trash bag laying there for when he died.
Why? Did these people? Did when you talk to these people, do they get arrested on the spot?
Yeah, not for that. They'll go through a court proceeding. But when we asked, it was because they didn't want to get in any more trouble by the police.
So because they didn't want to get in trouble because of the dog.
Yes.
So, but how was that going to save them from trouble with the police?
Because it's inside. They can't see it anymore.
Oh, I see. So they didn't want to get hassled. So they left the dog there like that. Did they deliberately hang? They clearly did because they left the bag there.
Clearly, it was tied to a chain to his collar, and then it was padlocked to the top.
And
they were going to let their dog die there.
And how long had the dog been there? Did they tell you?
I was there within an hour. So how long he was trampling, he could barely touch the trash that was underneath his feet.
And what kind of dog was it?
A pit bull.
Pit bull. And I understand that there's a stigma about pit bulls, and you see a lot of pit bulls in bad neighborhoods, and they're for fighting and drug dogs. But my God, I have a guy down the street that has a pit bull, a guy named Charlie. He's got a pit bull, and its name's Monty, and he's the sweetest dog. He's a beautiful pit bull. And people have this idea about pit bulls that they're just so horrible. I know a lot of people do the don't bully the breed thing, and I get that there are stories and they're sexy on the news for people, right? They say, oh, look what a pit bull did again. But these dogs, when they're put in these situations, all they know is to fight. Yeah. Because you're sitting, how can you trust someone, if you're a dog, how can you trust someone after they've left you hanging in a basement? Yeah. And then they still, what's amazing is you show me these stories, and then they still become the most loving dogs. It's amazing.
Yeah, and all they want to do, no matter how much the owner abuses them, all they want to do is please that owner. Mm-hmm. That's it. And, we'll get back to this, but to jump on your point that I saw a dog walking across the street, and a guy was beating the dog with a chain. Mm-hmm. Wasn't hitting the dog, was beating the dog. The dog was yelling, screaming, and crying. and the guy went to walk away from the dog. The dog jumped up, followed him over, laid at his feet, got beat again, and the guy was trying to walk away from
And
the
you're
dog.
watching this?
I had just gotten out of the car, and I was going over.
So was this the thing that you were already on, like a case you were already on that you knew about, and you've been watching this guy? Or was this just impulse? Like you just saw
down the
it?
street.
So what do you do in a situation like that?
Well, that was before we were police. We actually got the dog.
Gotcha.
And we called the police, and the guy was already gone, and we did the best we could to follow him. The dog's out of jeopardy.
Sure.
But, during that situation, I mean, now I would arrest him.
Yeah, now back to the situation with the dog that was hanging.
Yeah.
So you get the dog out. You obviously have to go to a vet, right?
Yeah.
And so kind of finish the story there. Where'd you guys go, and where's the dog now and everything?
Yeah, we went to Keystone Emergency Medical, and I can tell you as many dogs and animals, because we rescue all animals. We've had a couple cats over the last week that we've
What about
rescued.
these jerks that were shooting a horse with a paintball gun?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how people treat animals so poorly.
Well, you know what, Josh? It's important that you mention that, because I've done a lot of studying. Over the last 7 years, I just could not get it in my gut. It's just bad people doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And as I start to do the research and all the statistics that are posted, a lot of terrible things happen to them. Especially when it's involved with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the statistics is 70% of women stay in abused households with their kids if they have an animal to be abused because they don't want to leave the animal.
Wow.
Yeah. Some postings, 100% of all sexual homicides are related to at one point that individual had abused an animal.
Amazing.
Yeah, bullying at school. They're getting bullied at school, so to have some kind of self-worth or some kind of strength, they end up bullying animals.
And the thing is, and this is one thing you guys do that's very good, is you go to schools and you show these kids that it's not okay to bully animals, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And when they see guys like us coming in, they want to listen. And we walk.
Well, I mean, you're loaded with tats and everything.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw you, I mean, you look like a wrestler. I mean, you look like Goldberg. I mean, like, so if you were to walk in, I'd be like, I'm going to listen to this guy. And it's not to disparage any of the women or anybody else that works at another, an SPCA or PAWS or anything. They're all very good. But when you walk in, you're going to draw attention because you look like a badass.
Yeah, there's 3-4 more of us that go at the same time, and we have a presence. And for, men like us to stick up for animals and say it's not okay. Animals have feelings. They feel cold. They feel hunger. They feel pain just like we do. And it's not okay to abuse them.
It's so, and I know we got a bunch to get into, and obviously go to Justice Rescue's Facebook page and look at some of the details about what you guys still need from Amazon and what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
But to put a button on the other story about the dog, what was this dog's name that was
Monkey.
hanging? So this dog that was hanging, the dog's name was Monkey.
Yes.
How is that dog doing now?
He's doing wonderful. We started the rehabilitation with him. It's going to be long term. He's gained a lot of weight. He's coming around. He's still real fearful, but he's going to be okay.
That's great. And one question about the adoption, because you are really tough on who you're going to allow. Like you said, you've adopted out 2 dogs because of the show.
Yes.
But you're very tight about who you're willing to give a dog to or allowed to adopt a dog.
That's right.
So why is that?
When we're the ones rescuing them, we're their last chance of finding a good home that's not going to abuse them. They don't have a voice, and we have to be that voice, and we have to protect them. And when I'm handing a leash over to somebody, I have to know that dog is going, or that animal is going into a loving home that will love and protect it forever. Mm-hmm. And if I don't think that that's going to happen, they can't adopt from us.
So as far as dogs that you have that are adoptable right now, do you have a couple that come to mind? I know you post pictures all the time on the Justice Rescue Facebook page. Like, I want to say I saw like a little a puppy, a beagle puppy.
Yeah, there's a beagle puppy.
And I forgot what's the name? Do you recall?
I don't recall the name.
Like, people might just think, that's Justice Rescue. It's just a lot of pit bulls and big dogs. But the dogs I see on your page, you've got, the beagles, and you've got these like 20-pound dogs too. Yeah. So it's not like you're just, 50, 60-pound pit bulls.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the dogs that I want to mention is Stitch. I'm not for sure if he got posted yet or not, but he's a little dachshund. Mm-hmm. He was in an alley kids were throwing rocks at the dog. And he was very, very, hard to catch and was scared and running. Now he's sitting on a lap being loved,
It's amazing how some dogs never really recover and just are always going to kind of be on guard. But some dogs are just so quick to, fall back in love with people. And that would be an example of that in that story. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have both. As we talked about before, we have our sanctuary. They're safe with us. Some of the animals that we have will never leave us because of finding the right home that they're they're scared and they can be they can be dangerous. So we provide that sanctuary and provide rehabilitation for the ones that can go back up for adoption.
And before we let you guys go, one more time, the Facebook is Justice Rescue's Facebook.
That's right.
Just go to Justice Rescue. You guys still have a lot of needs, and you guys you sustain from the help of people. Like, that's how you exist, is the help of people. So if people want to help, how can they find that Amazon wish list to make a purchase for you guys to help you guys out?
Right on our Justice Rescue Facebook. Mm-hmm. Everything that you have, our donation site, we're 100% nonprofit. We work and do all the rescues from the donations that we get. So as many, the more that we get, the more animals we can help.
Anything else we're missing today? Is there anything you guys need to promote?
No, that's it. We have.
When does the show start?
I was just going to say, we have our reality series premiere May 14th. You can buy tickets for that on our website. For
a big party, a little launch party for the YouTube show.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be, it's going to be very fun. What that is it's reality. All of the show is captured from either our producer or our body cams. So you're going to come and see the reality of rescue, everything that we do, everything that we talked about, everything that we've always had on Facebook and wondering. People are going to get to see it for themselves now.
It's awesome. So Justice Rescue Facebook is where you need to go. Wolf, you're the man.
Thanks, man.
Love
I appreciate having
you
you on a show. And again, the response that we've already gotten by being here, that's 2 animals adopted, and I believe it was 4 abuse cases that we would not have known about if it wasn't for your people on this show reporting it to us. So everybody that's listening, come onto our Facebook page. You can always report abuse to us, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Also, that's great. Well, appreciate it, brother. Thanks, all right, Josh and his show, stay there.